Welcome back. Today, I want to take you through a dark yet transformative chapter in history, the Black Death, the catastrophic outbreak of the bubonic plague that reshaped Europe in ways that still impact us today. Between 1347 and 1351, this disease swept through Europe, killing millions. Join us as we explore the plague's origins, the horrors it unleashed, and the changes it set in motion for future generations. The story begins far from Europe. In Asia, scholars believe the Black Death originated in the grasslands of Central Asia. At that time, trade was thriving, connecting continents and cultures, but also providing a pathway for disease. By 1347, the bacterium Yersinia pestis, carried by fleas living on rats, found its way onto merchant ships traveling from Asia to Europe. The plague first arrived in European port cities, such as Messina in Sicily. From there, it spread quickly to other trade hubs. Medieval cities were densely populated, and people lived in close quarters, making them ideal environments for disease to thrive. The disease spread primarily through flea bites. These fleas carried Yersinia pestis, which caused three forms of plague: bubonic, septicemic, and pneumonic. While bubonic plague was most common and caused painful, swollen lumps called buboes, the pneumonic form spread directly between people through droplets, making it even deadlier in crowded areas. Symptoms were agonizing: high fever, chills, vomiting, and large, painful swellings that turned black. The rapid spread and horrifying symptoms left medieval societies gripping with terror. Once the Black Death reached a city, chaos ensued. People were desperate to avoid the disease. Some abandoned family members to flee to the countryside, hoping to escape the pestilence. Cities were overwhelmed, hospitals were quickly filled, and those who stayed behind to care for the sick often became sick themselves. With the sheer number of deaths, proper burials became impossible. Mass graves were dug, and death became an all too familiar presence. Some historians estimate that up to 60% of urban populations perished. The Black Death wiped out roughly a third of European population, around 25 million people. This staggering loss created a severe labor shortage. Fields went untended, street shops sat empty. As a result, food and goods became scarce and inflation surged. With fewer people to work the land, surviving laborers found themselves in a unique position to demand higher wages. This shift marked the beginning of the end of feudalism. Many peasants left their village, seeking better opportunities in the cities. This increased mobility and power among the lower classes as they began to rise the rigid social hierarchy that had defined medieval Europe. Medical knowledge was very limited in the 14th century. Many people believed the plague was a punishment from God, and some turned to religious practices to seek protection. However, the unprecedented death toll caused people to question traditional beliefs, sparking a shift in both medical practice and religious devotion. Doctors began experimenting with treatments and observed the disease's progression. These efforts laid the groundwork for more scientific approaches to medicine that would eventually develop in later centuries. The Black Death exposed the limits of existing knowledge, prompting a thirst for new learning and practical solutions. The church played a central role in people's lives, and many people saw the plague as a divine punishment. People prayed, attended mass, and participated in religious practices, hoping for relief. Yet, as prayers went unanswered and loved ones continued to die, some people began to lose faith. This crisis of faith led to new religious movements. Groups like the Flagellants, who believed self-punishment could appease God, rose in numbers. At the same time, others felt disillusioned by the church, questioning its authority and seeking different ways to interpret and interact with faith. Although the Black Death brought immense suffering, it also created profound changes. With the feudal system weakened and new economic opportunities available, the groundwork was laid for the Renaissance. Artists, scientists, and thinkers emerged, creating a wave of creativity and intellectual exploration that would change Europe forever. The changes in labor dynamics, combined with an eagerness to understand the natural world, encouraged a renewed focus on human potential. This era of rebirth led to advancements in art, science, and philosophy that continue to shape our modern world. The Black Death was one of history's most tragic events, but it also sparked transformations that defined the course of Western civilization. It reminds us how fragile life can be, the importance of resilience, and the power of adaptation. Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of history's darkest chapters. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, don't forget to check out my other videos for more interesting history facts. What do you think was the most surprising legacy of the Black Death? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.